Chris Paul was born in Louisville, North Carolina on May 6, 1985. His mom is Robin Paul, and he grew up with his older brother, Charles C.J. Paul. His family gave him the nickname CP3 because he, his father, and his brother all share the same initials. A former athlete himself, Charles Sr. taught his sons basketball and football and coached them in various youth leagues throughout their childhoods. Paul excelled at both basketball and football as a youth, but chose to stick with basketball in high school. Even though as a freshman he was considered too small to play. He was 5 foot tall at the time. Chris attended West Forsyth High School in Clemens, North Carolina, just outside of Winston-Salem. He was on junior varsity for the first 2 years. Then there was a growth spurt his junior season and he finally made varsity. He averaged 30 points and 6 steals per game his senior year. Talk about a pickpocket. Now 6 foot tall, he was named Mr. Basketball of North Carolina in 2003 and considered one of the top prospects in the country. He stayed close to home to play college ball at Wake Forest University. Paul spent 2 years at Wake, averaging 15 points, 6 assists, and 2.5 steals per game. He also kept a 3.21 grade point average in college. Chris Paul declared for the NBA draft in 2005 and was selected 4th overall by the New Orleans Hornets, where he won the NBA Rookie of the Year award. Chris Paul has also been selected to 12 All-Star teams, 10 All-NBA teams, and 9 All-Defensive teams. He has 2 Olympic gold medals and has led the NBA in assists 5 times, and he's led in steals a record 6 times. Quite a resume. In 2021, he was selected to the NBA's 75th anniversary team. He also served as the president of the National Basketball Players Association. Paul is widely regarded as one of the greatest point guards of all time and also spawned the nickname Point God. To be this good for this long is truly outstanding. His career is cemented as a legend, and that has led him to accumulate a lot of money over the years. So the question is, how did he accumulate his wealth? How does he spend it? Stay tuned and find out. Salary. CP3 has played for over 17 years in the NBA and has a lot of contracts during that time. Here are a few. In 2013, he signed a 5-year, $107 million contract with the Clippers. In 2018, he signed a 4-year, $160 million deal with the Rockets. Now with the Suns, Point God signed a 4-year, $120 million contract in 2021. This includes $75 million guaranteed with an average annual salary of a whopping $30 million. His deal with Phoenix ends in 2025. Over his NBA career, CP3 has earned over $326 million. Truly mind-blowing. Endorsement deals. Chris has contracts with Nike, Beyond Meat, Spalding, and many more. In 2005, Paul signed a 4-year contract with Nike. This deal happened right after the New Orleans Hornets drafted him. As of now, he endorses the Jordan brand. He has had 12 signature sneakers called the Jordan CP3 collection. Some of our favorites include the CP3 5s and CP3 10s. Pretty fly, right? You may also have seen Chris in State Farm commercials. He often appears with Jake from State Farm and has been with the brand for years. Apart from his endorsements, Chris Paul is also improving as an angel investor. He has an investment in hyper-ice massagers and therapeutic devices for athletes. The NBA was part of a $48 million funding round that CP3 got in on. Other stars like Ja Morant, Trae Young, and Russell Westbrook also invested funds in this round. Paul was also part of a funding round that raised $4 million for Chirpify, a social commerce and payment system. He also has investments in RSPCT basketball and Beyond Meat. Chris Paul earns in the range of $8 million a year for his endorsements and sponsorship deals. Go get it, Chris! Now that we've learned about Point God's income streams, Chris Paul has a current net worth of... Wait, we'll get to that later. Now let's see how Paul spends his millions. Houses. The NBA star is a seasoned real estate wheeler and dealer. While with the Los Angeles Clippers, Paul had a mansion in Bel Air that he had bought from singer Avril Lavigne. The home has 11 bathrooms and a 10-car garage, along with a gym, sauna, swimming pool, spa, and a 16-seat home theater. With 2 kitchen islands, this estate has more than 12,000 square feet. He bought it for $8.3 million and later sold it for $8.7 million. While in Houston, CP3 had a 10,000 square foot mansion with 5 bedrooms and 6 full bathrooms and 3 half baths. This Mediterranean style house has a lime edged pool, rustic style patio, pool house, library, theater room, and more. When he bought it, it was listed at $6.9 million. When he later left to Phoenix, he ended up selling it for $7.2 million. The Point God owned a pad in Calabasas, California, which he had picked up in 2017 for $9 million. This mini Italian villa comes with 11,000 square feet, beautiful tile and woodwork, a screening room, a barber shop, a pizza oven, pool, a full basketball court, and an outdoor fire pit. Chris later sold it for $11.05 million, pocketing a hefty $2 million profit. Paul recently paid around $11 million for an off-market house in Encino. We don't have many visuals of the house, but the estate is a 2-story building with a separate guest house and an attached 5-car garage. It spans more than 12,000 square feet and also includes various features such as a cabana, swimming pool, and a sports court. Living it up in style, baby. Cars. Chris sure knows how to spend his chips on vehicles. His car collection includes a Jeep JKU Wrangler Unlimited and a Range Rover. Per DreamWorks Motorsports, his garage also includes a Cadillac Escalade and a BMW 750 Li. His interest in the classic vintage vehicles is also on point, as he owns a custom 71 Chevy C10 and a 1977 Monte Carlo with a custom trunk. Fun fact, in 2018, he surprised his teammate Gary Clark by gifting him a new Mercedes on his birthday. Fashion. Chris Paul has a stylist that he has used many years named Courtney Mays. She chooses the brands and looks he needs to keep his look and wardrobe fresh. Chris can keep it stylish in many ways. We like it when he goes casual but also preppy. According to GQ, Paul loves wearing Patek Philippe World Time. It is a luxury watch strapped in leather, gold-coated, and can tell time in 2 time zones. We've also seen him flaunting his watch on Instagram. This timepiece costs about $40,000. Big time for sure. Haha. Get it? Charity. There is no doubt that Chris Paul is an active face when giving back to the community. Throughout the years, he has been part of several fundraisers and nonprofits. Chris and his family founded the Chris Paul Family Foundation in 2005. They partnered with the Winston-Salem Foundation with respects to his late grandfather. The foundation hosts a variety of events on a community level. It aims to promote equality in education and developing strong communities. In 2012, he partnered with the all-star lineup of the NBA. The team launched the Haiti AIDS Still Required campaign. The idea was to use his social media clout to raise funds for the earthquake victims of Haiti. Paul also partnered with State Farm and his foundation to donate to Alder Elementary. They set up a new computer lab and interactive board as part of the Exist to Assist community program. Similarly, Paul worked with the Boys and Girls Club of America. He donated notebook computers, tablets, and a tech-powered golf simulator. CDW, Lenovo, and Golf Zone partnered with him in this venture. Likewise, his foundation made a $1 million commitment to many Boys and Girls Clubs. ESPN named Chris Paul as Sports Humanitarian of the Year in 2016. His positive impact on society has been very inspirational. In 2018, Paul donated $2.5 million to Wake Forest basketball. It was where he crafted his basketball skills back in the day. Paul wanted to give back to improve Wake Forest athletics. Family. Chris Paul isn't shy about giving fans a peek into what it's like raising 2 kids. The 2-time Olympian shares 2 kids with his wife Jada Paul, who he married in 2011. And judging by Chris's Instagram account, you can likely find him hanging out with his family when he's not on the court. Whether he's enjoying a meal out with his daughter or shooting hoops in the backyard with his son, Point God frequently shares photos of his kiddos on social media. He's also an avid bowler. Now's the time you've all been waiting for. How much is CP3 worth? Without going any further, Chris Paul has a net worth of $160 million. Wowzers! Thanks for sticking around and watching, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace out.